Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Praise the Lord, everybody. And good morning. Welcome, welcome, welcome to another Good Morning Grief Devotion. It's your boy, Pastor Corey Allen Duncan Sr. So excited to have this time, this opportunity to come to you today to lead you in a very special way in yet another grief devotion. This is the daily grief devotion that is strategically designed to help you to navigate through your grief one day at a time. What is grief? I'm so glad you asked. Grief, my brothers and sisters, it is the natural and normal response to loss, change, and transition that results in the expressions of feelings and emotions. Grief is what you feel on the inside. Mourning is what you express or reveal on the outside. Therefore, we don't suppress it, but we express it. We don't ignore it, but we explore it. We don't conceal it, but we reveal it. We don't lock it up, but we let it out. And that's why we shout good morning, because morning is a good thing. Thank you so very much for joining us on today. Excited to lead you in this grief devotion. Remember, the primary focus is the grief of death, but also understand that grief deals with any loss, change, and transition. And I don't know what loss, change, or transition you may be navigating through on today, but I promise you that God will see you through. He will guide you through. He will help you. And I appreciate you tuning in to get these nuggets, these notes, and these nudges from the Holy Spirit as He helps you as you go through. Today is day 16. We're going to talk about I've lost a witness. I've lost a witness. Let's talk about it, y'all. The person who died may have been one of the few people who knew me really well. The person who died may have been one of a few people who knew me really well. Yeah, a lot of times when a person dies, when we lose a person, that we don't just lose a husband or wife or a sister or brother or auntie or uncle or a friend or whatever the case may be. But there's this thing called secondary losses when it comes to grief, right? You lose a confidant, right? You might have lost a mother, but you also lost a best friend, right? You might have lost a sister or a brother, but you also lost a best friend. These are secondary losses because they play many roles. They had other roles in your life. And this is the thing, the person that you lost, they may have known you well. And if you are true and if you are real, and if I'm true and I'm real, there's not a whole lot of people, right, that know you like that. Oftentimes the people that transition, like they know us, right? Other people, they may know about us, but there's sometimes when you lose a loved one that they know you, right? Intimately. And I'm not talking about in a sexual way. I'm just talking about they know you intimately. They know your secrets. They know your heart. They know you. They know, you know, your nuances. They just know. They know you. And so how do you deal? How do you navigate when you lose one of those type of people? Somebody that's super duper close, somebody that knows you, that sees you, that hears you, right? Somebody that has your heart or that sees your heart, somebody who understands you. In a world where a lot of people don't understand me, it's like this person gets me, this person gets it. I laid such a foundation with this individual, right? To try to start over, I had to go back and give other people 35 years of the backstories. They already knew the backstories. So I could just jump in. They already knew the breakdown. They knew the background. So I didn't have to come with a breakdown, right? They knew. How do you deal when you lose somebody of that magnitude, right? A mother that knows me, a father that knows me, a sister that knows me, a brother that knows me, a spouse that knows me, right? Trying to find somebody else. You got history with this and they knew you. They accepted you, flaws and all, right? And they knew your history and y'all built something together and now that person is gone. So a lot of times, even when it deals in loss, we got to deal with the fact that this person knew me. The person who died may have been one of the few people who knew me really well. We were close. Throughout our time together, I saw them and they saw me. Yeah, that can be a lot of times we're not just mourning the person who died, but we're mourning that connection We're mourning the closeness of our friendship. We're mourning, the fact that they knew me and they understood me, and I no longer have that. So a lot of times it's not just mourning the person that died, but it's everything else that came along attached with that, right? But now they're no longer here to be their unique self and to provide me with companionship. And what do? You gotta you gotta feel that. You gotta reveal that. How does that make you feel that they're no longer here, right? That they are no longer here to be their unique self and to provide you with that companionship. That's a void. That's a gap. That's a gap. That's a void that's in place. That a lot of times when we lose people, we lose secret keepers. We lose best friends. We lose people that we will call and talk to. Girl, I just seen Clarence. Girl, you won't know what happened. Man, you ain't gonna believe this. We lose the people that we could just call instantly. And we have those moments where we want to call. We want to call. Something happens, we want to call them. We get some tea, we want to call them. We make a great accomplishment, we want to call them. We got something to say, we want to call them. We need to get something off our chest, we want to call them. We want to vent, we want to call them. And we don't have that celebratory, venting, tea time person no longer in our life. And you gotta, I want you to feel that. I want you to sit in that moment. I want you to really think about that, right? I really want you got to deal with that. A lot of times it can be so disheartening that we suppress it, right? But now I need you to address that. I need you to express that. I need you to say that, right? That I lost this type of individual and they're not here to see me. When you get somebody that can see you, it's so very important. Somebody that sees you for you, who doesn't have an ulterior motive or an agenda. Somebody who is genuinely and honestly, they just see you, right? Nothing to do with your platform, your power, your prestige, your money. Nothing to do with what you've done or accomplished. They see you, and oftentimes they see you like nobody else sees you, right? And you got to deal with that void that's now in place. But now they're no longer here to be their unique self, to provide me with the companionship. They're not here to see me. They know me so well that I could count on them to understand what I knew, what I thought, and what I felt. Y'all, this is real. You got to deal with that. That one person that knew you, they knew what you thought, they knew what you felt. Y'all could lock eyes at an event and y'all knew instantly what each other was thinking, right? Thinking about each other, calling each other at the same time because y'all just had that type of connection. Or you think about them and they calling you, or they thinking about you and you end up calling them. It's like, I just about to call you, right? Somebody who feels you, somebody who's just close to you in every regard. They knew what I liked. They knew what I disliked. They knew what I wore and looked like and sounded like. They knew so much about me, right? Here it is. I'm grieving the loss of this special witness to my life. I want you to address that. Don't suppress it. I want you to address it. I'm grieving the loss of this special. I'm grieving the loss of this special witness to my life. They witnessed my life. They knew my ups and my downs. They loved me through my good. They loved me through my bad. They were there. That person is no longer there. I'm grieving the loss of this special witness to my life. And this is the thing, y'all. Oh, what a gift, right? Oh, what a gift. Oh, what an opportunity. Um, it was it Houdini, UTFO, one of them groups. They said it's better to have loved and lost than to never have loved at all. I mean, they put it in the song. I don't think they came up with it originally. Somebody else did. But it's better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all. There's one aspect that continue to feel and grieve. There's another aspect to say, man, what a gift, what a wonderful opportunity, what a wonderful treasure. And I know that we feel some type of way because we no longer have it, right? But thank God that at one point in time we had it, right? That God favored us and blessed us with the opportunity to be seen, to be heard, to be felt, to be understood. Somebody who loved us through our good and our bad. somebody who was with us through our ups and our downs, somebody who witnessed our life. And I know you feel like, dang, because I want it again and they not here. But can we just pause for the cause and just thank God, right? That every time we think we can turn it into a praise, we can turn it into a gratitude to say, God, I wish they were still here for the rest of my life, but I am grateful for the time you did give them or allow me to have this or to experience this or to feel this in my life. Like some people never get it. Some people never have that opportunity to be able to be so close to somebody, to have somebody to witness their life. And yes, while I do wish that it would have lasted longer, I'm grateful for the opportunity and for the time that you did give me to be able to share my life with somebody that could witness my life. Check this out. Here's the final thought, y'all, the reflection. I understand the importance of being witnessed in life and grief, so I seek to bear witness to others. I understand the importance of being witnessed in life and grief, so I seek to bear witness to others. Oftentimes, if God has blessed you with the opportunity to taste and to experience it, now here it is, we sow the seed to somebody else, that we can show up in somebody else's life and bear witness to their life, that we can be the individual to help them, to navigate, to love them through their good and their bad, their ups and their downs. We can always say you seed what you need, that, and even if you still desire, you can seed what you need. You can be that for somebody else, right? I think it's so very important, y'all. Thank God for the opportunity to have experienced it, and thank God for the opportunity to be able to extend it as well to somebody else. Today, my brothers and sisters, is day 16. We're talking about how we lost a witness. Holla at your boy one time for the one time. If you got questions, comments, quick questions, comments. Hey, Miss Patrick. Well, my ex best friend of 20 years at the time knew all my secrets and was my closest confidant, and I'm grieving her after finding out that shared those secrets with coworkers. It's like grieving a death, and I had to let her go as a friend because it wasn't her first time doing that to me over the 20 years. Yes, Miss Patrick, and that is so unfortunate. This is the thing about closeness and confidence and feelings and all of those things. We become vulnerable, right? We become vulnerable when we share and when we open up our heart, right? We're vulnerable, and we run the risk of sometimes friends turn into enemies, right? Sometimes friends turn into enemies, and they do. They know where the body's buried. They know the secrets. They know the witnesses, and this is the sad reality. Sometimes they will weaponize your vulnerabilities, right? So they'll weaponize your vulnerabilities and they'll use it against you. And they will. And you definitely grieve. Now you did the right thing, right? Because when somebody tells you who they are, believe them. And if you betrayed my trust, and if you are no longer my secret keeper, and if you're trying to expose me, then you definitely did the right thing by severing that time, making that adjustment, or whatever the case may be in your life. And so now you're dealing with the loss, the change, the transition, and the betrayal, right? And how do you navigate through that? You grieve, you feel, you mourn, you reveal, express yourself, right? Because you don't want to allow it to poison you. You ultimately, stemming from the situation, you want it to make you better and not bitter, even though you may be bitter now. That's just a part of it. Ultimately, you don't want it to erode your kind, compassionate, caring heart and make you a bitter individual. So it's like I need to heal from this. And how do I do that? By feeling, sitting in that moment, but also by revealing, by expressing, right? And then that's how you navigate through that process. Yes, weaponize me, and I had to accept the motive was jealousy and it hurt badly. Absolutely. And so that's the other thing about it. Sometimes as you grow and as you evolve and as you develop, right? Sometimes we grow together, sometimes we grow apart. And sometimes it's the envy of others, right? Sometimes it's the envy of others that, people get envious, people get jealous, right? And people, they want what you got, or they admire your life so much, and or it's a reflection of their poor choices and poor decisions that they do, that they become envious, right? And so they say, um, I lost my train of thought. So yeah, so you do. So you got to be careful, and they will. They'll say little things. Sometimes it's even in what's supposed to be a good comment. They throw jabs in snide remarks, right? I remember I had somebody say, "Look, I know you busy over there with your little church and everything. I know you I know you busy over there with your little church and everything." When they threw that little church in there, oh, I already knew what time it was. Oh, it's game time. Oh, I see you. I thank you for revealing yourself. I appreciate that. I see you, right? And I know where this is coming from. So I know how to govern myself accordingly from here on out, right? And so it's so true, right? It is so true. And so you got to be careful as you grow and as you develop and as you elevate and as God blesses you, people do become envious. Somebody said, they said, I don't know the secret to failure. I don't know the secret to success, but nah, what did they say? They said something about this. The secret to success is keep your circle small, right? Keep your circle small because so many people want to come in and so many people who have motives and agendas and all that, and people will turn on you, right? Which will, change how you interact and direct with people. And like I said, friendships, you're gonna be vulnerable. You just got to be careful, right? You just got to be careful as you navigate through that. And so, that's a big one. When you start talking about grief, once again, it's not just death. It is like the death of a friendship, but you got to grieve that loss, that change, that transition, right? And as Marvin Sapp said, it'll make you stronger, wiser, and better. And so then you'll have the opportunity to not just go through it, but grow through it, and then and this is the thing. God says, vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. Um, can't nobody get them back like God, right? Nobody can get them back like God. I've had people that betrayed me in similar fashions, right? A lot of people betrayed me in similar fashions. I ain't put my mouth on them. I might vent it to my family or my friends about it, but publicly I'm not. I'm not gonna do that. I didn't do that, and I've had people. This has happened on whether it's seeing somebody out in public, or even just call me out the blue years later, bawling and crying, right? Crying and apologizing, right? And me, like, I know I'm good. I know I didn't mistreat you. I know I didn't, nah, and I know, because that guilt's gonna get you, or God starts whooping them. Can't nobody get them like God, right? And so there's no need to sling mud. There's no need to run their name through the mud. There's no need to do none of that because God says, vengeance is mine, said the Lord, I will repay. And nobody can repay like God, right? And so that's important to know as you navigate through that season. Thank you for sharing that. Anybody else? Questions, comments? Yes, and publicly, I didn't either. And it made her even more upset that I didn't expose her secrets like she did mine. I'm not built like that. Period. I'm not built like that. I don't know if you remember Willy Wonka, the original Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory? The original. The original Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. What I love about that movie, my favorite part is at the end when he told Charlie and his uncle, like, nah, y'all drunk fizzy lizzy lifting drinks and y'all, we got to do all of this stuff. You failed, etc., etc. Good day, sir. It's like y'all didn't win nothing. And he had given them that everlasting God stopper. And they had met with Slugworth before, who was like, yo, I need that secret. He's trying to destroy me. I need the secret to that everlasting God stopper. So here they are now. They mad. They upset. And the uncle says, come on, Charlie, let's get out of here. We're going to find Slugworth. And we're going to give him that everlasting God stopper, right? So we can get some money. And Charlie takes that everlasting gobstopper and he goes and puts it on the desk of Mr. Wonka. Mr. Wonka, he puts it down and he walks away. Because in Charlie's mind, even though you said we didn't win, this, that, and the other, you just yelled at us and fussed at us. And even though I got this thing, it's a secret and I can take it and I can do something with it. I can expose you with this. I'm not going to expose your secret. I'm not going to expose. I'm not going to give this to the enemy. I'm not going to do that, right? And ultimately, he ended up passing the test. Ultimately, he was like, "You won. You passed the test. I can trust you." Right? I can trust you. And I wonder oftentimes, does God say I can trust you? Right? Like you passed the test. You didn't, they exposed you, but you didn't expose them. You passed the test. Like, I can trust you. You're trusting me to repay. You're not going to blast her publicly. You're not going to do to her what she did to you. Oh my God. So you really do believe the word of God. You really do believe Romans 14. Okay, I got you. You passed the test. I can trust you. Elevation is on the way, right? And so ultimately, we got to pass that test, right? We have to pass that test. We got to put ourselves in a position. I'm not going to do to you what you did to me, right? I'm not going to do to you what you did to me. I'm going to let God handle it. I'm going to keep on drinking my water and minding my business and healing and going about my life. And I'm going to let God take care of this situation. So ultimately, that's what we got to do. And I'm telling you, nobody can repay them like God. Nobody can get them back like God, right? You just focus on healing and moving forward and let God do what he desires to do in your life. That's good. Thank you for sharing that. I'm like you. I ain't built like that. I'm not built like that. I'm not gonna do to you. Not because I'm a weak person, right? Because I'm a meek person, right? And meekness is not weakness. Meekness is strength under control. Come on, spirit, fruit of the spirit series. Meekness is not weakness. Meekness is literally strength under control, right? That I got the strength to do, but it's under control. So that's important to know. No more questions, comments. Y'all gonna let Miss Patrick ask all the questions and dialogue. I appreciate it. It's good. It's so good. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all with the little Lord. Y'all keep on grieve well, be well, continue to heal, continue to feel, continue to reveal so that you can heal. Yo, I'm looking forward. I am so looking forward to our journey together. Is going to be absolutely wonderful and phenomenal. I try to participate every day, and you do. You absolutely do. You absolutely do, and I appreciate it, right? It's wonderful, and I thank you for it. It is absolutely wonderful. It's double good. I love it. I love it. I love it. And again, thank all of y'all for letting me be a part of your grief journey. I just want to be on the team, right? I just want to I just want to be on the team. I'm just want to be obedient to what God told me to do. And at the end of the day, when it comes to your loss, your change and transition, I just want to be on the team to help you to navigate through whatever season you may be facing. And so I appreciate the opportunity. I love y'all with the love of the Lord. I appreciate y'all. I will see y'all tomorrow, same time, same channel, 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. Let's go.